All right, Devils, let's get into it. Let's see, it's 11:35 here. I'm going to start posting these trades as I make them. Now, this is relatively straightforward technically. Well, let me take this off here. So I was doing a little scanning. Actually, I started in this last week here and found Carvana here. Oh, hard to, if you're an Elliott Wave trader, hard to miss the potential impulse that's going on here. And while there's never any guarantee that it's going to complete, we can certainly set up a reasonable target up here. Now, if you look back here and we look at how this is done, historically, let me get this back here. Let's come out of log scale. We don't really want to be on the edge here, be such that you'd want to look at both. So from swing low here to swing high, we come back here, slight front run. Look, you can see some liquidity here at this pivot. It would suggest here that it certainly looks like we have an impulse to finish this. Now, is that going to be a 1, 2, 3? Well, it's possible that. This got a little bit weird, but certainly you have a 5 to finish it here. So it looks like you've got a 1, 2, 3. You'd have to do a little bit of a A, B, C into that because that's clearly a 5. So then we get an A, B, C down, or it wouldn't matter, right? W, X, Y. It looks like it is a W, X, Y. So W, X, Y into this pivot here at the 50, right? Well, now we've already got this target, right? So Al has been paid on that piece of it. So we would look here and say, okay, I've got a very nice directional play here for a target up here. Now, that said, right, so of course, one thought is, well, you could just buy the stock, right? I mean, that's one choice. Now, this is almost a $500 stock, so the options market certainly going to give you better leverage here and control of your capital. So looking at that, of course, one thought, for a new option trader might be, well, let's just buy a call, right, and see how we do. Of course, that is one option, but with a little bit of additional understanding of all of the choices that are available to us as option traders and just to use these tools. Well, let's just think about it for a second. If this is going to go up here, we're going to get to that target, right? Our anticipation is not that it's going to do it in a straight line. Our anticipation would be there's potentially here we've got an impulse going in here. If we sweep that high, what do we got? We got to break a structure. What do we anticipate after a break of structure, right? Well, not what do we know? What do we anticipate? We anticipate a retrace, and then we would keep going here, and then some sort of a 4, and then would get us up to that 5th. So some upside targets here as high as 600 would not be unreasonable. But with options, right, time is always a variable as well as volatility. So we have to consider that. Well, if you're just long a call here, or just take a purely directional play, if we get this kind of movement here where we sweep the high and then we get, it's so very common again, there's no guaranteeing this is what will happen, but you can anticipate here if we sweep that high that we'll come down here, we'll need to grab some liquidity for this to keep going. So if you're long a call and we just get a mild retrace here, the time decay works against your long calls, right? And that can eat into the trade enough so that if it takes longer here for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. If this takes a little bit longer here, that time decay is going to eat away at those options at their value. So my thought here was, and the trade that I put on, was to create an iron condor. Okay, so where was I? So my thought was here, so let's see if I can draw it this way. What I'm after, and is always the case with, I shouldn't say it that way, but often the case with options is that I have a much fatter target. So my target for this trade is really this, right? I'm looking for something that would give me a profit range like this, so that if we go up and then we retrace for a 2 and then push for the 3, I want the time decay. I want to include the potential for the time passage here to create a nice, big, fat, wide profit zone. So let me get rid of those. Oh, shit, get off of there. That thing is sticky on your mouse. Oh, God, I can't get rid of it. All right, get off of there. Okay, let me get back to my arrow. There we go. Okay, so now, of course, members, you're going to see some of these tools here. I'm going to stick with Tanuki Trade, which is, certainly if you're trading on, if TradingView is the only charting platform that you use and you want to stay there, certainly this is, in my opinion, this is there. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think there is another one here that even offers you the kind of data that we can get directly on TradingView. So let me just put these up here. and take a look at them. So what I've added here now is the GEX profile here, the gamma profiles here for the options market here for the month that I put this trade on, which would be February 20th. So that's the second monthly. So we have essentially 39 days here. And you can see just as I was drawing it before, right? I have this nice big fat profit range here. And the market certainly is bullishly biased. Get rid of that. So we can see that the market, a lot of call buying here for this to continue higher. Now, remember with gamma exposure here, while this is certainly bullish, and we can see the high volatility level is below the market here. So even if I were to zoom in a little bit, right, we can look at this and anticipate, well, every time we get to one of these strikes where we have a lot of call volume here, and we have a lot of participation here. You can see that's the second call wall. We're already through the first one. Well, market makers are inclined to slow that down a bit, because if the market participants are buying calls, well, market makers are on the other side of that, right? So that would put them at delta negative. So they want to hedge that. So they're inclined to slow this down a bit. Now, of course, there are situations where we might have a gamma squeeze, right? I mean, of course, that's well known now after during the COVID era and GameStop and some of those stocks here, they got squeezed, right? As the retail just kept buying the options, and market makers kept having to hedge, which is what drove that up. Now, you don't know when that's going to happen, but this seems an unlikely prospect for that to happen. The market is bullish. Analysts are bullish on this, and the TA is bullish. But we can anticipate here that this should be, as I've used this terminology here before, which I'm sure you've heard, is the market tends to go up the stairs and down the escalator here. So barring some sort of a fundamental event here that would tank the stock here, this should be the kind of climb that would be relatively controlled, right? If it's going to go up here, again, remember, market makers are going to slow this down. So we have all of the ingredients here for a slow grind higher. Now, could we go, up into the sixes? Certainly we could. But as an option trader, I want to take advantage of that time decay. So if we look here with all of this positive gamma up here, knowing the market is inclined, right, not obligated, but inclined to grind higher and to targeting some of these upper strikes. So 470, 480, 490, 500, all very, very positive gamma there, suggesting, again, that the market is positioned for this to continue to move higher. Well, again, we come back to, okay, well, if we sweep that, right, and we got to... Right, you can see how that might play. We get a sweep here, as if this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to get that fifth here. Then you'd start that little retrace before we go for the next leg here. So it's the potential pullback here that we're kind of playing, right? Anticipating that. We still want to create plenty of headroom for this to move higher, but take advantage of the potential, right? It's always just potential for market makers to keep this a controlled climb, and then the time decay works for us. So if I put this back on here, these are, if you want to get more details about this, of course, you can come into our Discord, which is, of course, free for all. We're making all of this options data available to anyone in our Discord, whether you're a paid member or a free member, just as we transition here to more of this content. So we'll have some trading education there. Tanuki Trade we've been talking to them for some time, and you can anticipate potentially some new information, possibly even a webinar from them that I would host and get some more input from the creators of this product line. As we can see here, it certainly gives, you wouldn't have to be using Tanuki. I'm just using that here because it's an easier way to introduce this here and stay on TradingView. But you can understand the idea here. So a slow, steady grind is what we're after. Now let's go look at that on option stretch so we can see what the trade looks like. So this is the trade I put on this morning. Again, we're out to the February 20 options. And you can see I've created a very wide iron condor here. With the options that I've sold are the 400 put to the 570 call. Right, so very wide range here. Now, volatility is relatively low. Let's see if I drop this here. Yeah, there you see it. So you can see it's relatively low. So there's no particular advantage that we're trying to take advantage of here by selling overvalued options. If we look here over at the skew, it's somewhat mixed, right? It's still, the calls are priced higher than the puts here. The skew is call biased here. You can see that here, and we have positive GEX. But it's, it's not dramatic, but we can see in the 220 options, calls are priced more expensively. They're 11% higher than the puts. So again, that's reflective of the market being bullish. So people are willing to pay more for those calls. So as we look here, again, we're trying to take advantage of the market maker positioning here, keeping this a controlled climb, which means here, if I've got one standard deviation here, this would be out to, that would be one standard deviation out 25 days here. So even up here, that's 529, right? I sold the 570. So we have a really wide range here to take advantage of potential time decay. What would hurt this trade if there were some news event here that would cause a big drop here, right? Because we've sold the 400. Now we sold way down here. So we have just a massive range. Let's see if I can draw it here. A profit range. Let's go. We can just do it like that. So this is our profit window here. Now, again, who knows what happens right before February 20th? Lots of things can happen. But as is right now, since all we deal with is probabilities, this is a relatively friendly trade, particularly for those of you that are new to options. So we go back to the trade that I put on. Sold the 400 and the 570 and hedged out here to a 360, a little tighter here. I could probably tighten that up a little bit, but as the market is grinding higher, we want to be somewhere in this range. The goal is not to stick with it to expiration. That's what it looks like at expiration. If you stayed all the way to February 20th, that's rarely do I stick around that long unless we were. Well, I mean, there are circumstances here where you get it just so right and you're sitting in the middle, you might take it that far. But then the closer we get to expiration, the more reactive the options can be. And it depends how close we are to the options that we sold. So something like this, let's just go out to, early February. Something like this, if we can get $500-600 on this trade here, the return to the capital here, because you will post a little capital to hold this trade. I've just done one lots here, right? So it's nothing crazy here. And rarely am I trying to hit a home run. I'm just trying to get somewhere in this nice big fat range here. So we don't have to nail the target, and we can allow for exactly what I was describing here, for this to go up. And if we potentially get a break of structure here and then we start that retrace, we stay in that big fat target range. We've got this huge target, this huge range of profitability here. So time is our friend in this kind of trade. Our enemy would be a dramatic increase in volatility. That could skew them, although we're so far away from the money, we're probably okay. If I go back to, where is it? If I go back to our P&L curve here, we can look at the delta is very neutral, so it's 293, so essentially we're flat here. Theta is picking up $18.50 a day, right? So that's the advantage of being an option seller. We're picking that time decay up per day. The gamma is neutral here because we're a long way from these options. Now gamma gets more reactive the closer we get. So if we were to push up here, potentially there'd be some problems. But as it sits right now, this is a very neutral trade with a slight bias to the long side because we're anticipating the break and the retrace. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll keep these coming here. I know for those subs and for members that are brand new to this, I think with repetition, or I said this in the last video, with repetition, as I do more and more of these, you'll start to get a handle on it, and we'll do some webinars here. We'll do some Q&A for those of you that have a lot of questions, as I'm sure you will. But the basic premise here should be pretty straightforward. Big fat target. We're taking advantage of the inherent advantages being an option seller to an option buyer. And we'll just kind of monitor this day to day, week to week, and hopefully with a little time decay here, we're somewhere in this range. We can take advantage of that and take some profit. Okay, I'm out of here.